All right, good day, ladies and gents. We are going to be continuing Unit 9 hot 3D stuff. So here are the hot topics. Make sure you have this out on your desk the whole time. Notice that for a circle, diameter is equal to 2 times the radius. Okay, and those are the pictures. We have the perimeter, we have the area of the circle. We also have these basic equations where a prism, volume is basically equal to base times height. The base area times the height, and the pyramid is 1/3 base area times the height because it's in 3D. You know how it's basically a triangle. A triangle is basically 1/2 base times height. Well, in 3D, it's 1/3 because 3D versus 2D, it's 1/3 base area times the 3D height. And we have a couple other things to go off of. So you're just basically going to go off of these equations. And we also have sphere and hemisphere. Now, because a prism has a cylinder is a type of prism. It's going to be using those same equations that we are basing it off of, but because it's so common, we're able to actually break it down further. P is the perimeter of the base, and what's perimeter of the base? If the base is a circle, it's d pi times h. And some people say 2 pi r h, but let's just leave it as d pi h. Just makes your life a little easier. Same thing for the surface area, all that stuff. So we're just going to be mindful of those equations. All right, let's actually bust this out. Okay, so with that out on our desk. Now, a couple of things that you need to know. So page 11, we're on page 11 right now. So a couple things you need to know is what kind of shape is this? Okay, so this is a prism. And now what are the bases? What you want to do is shade in your bases. And our bases is the triangle and the triangle. And once you figure that out, what you want to do is, okay, what's the distance from one triangle to the other? That would be 10. Okay, so that is the height. So just get that out of the way. Just first thing you want to do is get that out of the way. Okay, so now let's just focus on the base. All right, so I'm going to draw the base where this is 3, this is 4. Okay, now B stands for the base area. Capital B stands for base area. So we want to find the area of this base. Now, we might have to find a missing side, but in this case, we're okay. Base area, now this is a triangle, so it's 1/2 little base times little height. And that's made by the right angle, so that's 1/2 the 4 times the 3. So if you put that in a calculator, so 0.5, which is 1/2, times 4 times 3, and you get that the base is 6. So the base area is 6. Okay, and then what about the perimeter? The perimeter is all of the sides added together on this base. So that's the perimeter of the base. So this is 3, this is 4. If you do the Pythagorean theorem, and I'll do that over here, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So that's 3 squared plus 4 squared equals x squared. So this was x, right? So 3 squared plus 4 squared, we get 25. Is equal to x squared, we get 5 equals x because you square root both sides. So this right here is 5. Okay, so all we're going to do for perimeter is add that all together. So 3 plus 4 plus 5, and you pop out with 12. So 12. So that's the first thing I want you to do with all of these problems. So that's part 1 of your check. I'm going to want you just to find the, well, name the shape, but find the height, the base, and the perimeter, the Half-Blood Prince. Okay, so find the height of the 3D shape, the base area, and the perimeter of each one of these. So just to make sure that you have that part down, because if you don't have that part down, then the rest of it's going to be not going to be so easy. Okay, now the next part is just taking all this information and just putting it into the equation. So this is the hardest part that you just did. You got the hard part out of the way. Now all we have to do is plug it into these equations, whatever they're asking. All right, so volume for a prism, because this is a prism, the volume is equal to capital B times capital H. That's what it says. So all you have to do is plug it in. So capital B is a 6 and capital H was a 10, you put that in and you got 60 and you're done. Awesome. Okay, go to the next part. Surface area. For surface area, that's this equation, pH plus 2b, pH plus 2b. All you have to do is take all this information, plug it in. So it's 12 times 10 plus 2 times 6. So that's 120 plus 12. And you get 132. Okay, and your last step is the LA, which is just pH. So it's just the beginning part of that essay. So it's P times H, so 12 times 10, you get 120. And you're done. So once you get these things right here, this next part's really fast. Okay, number 2. Okay, so for a rectangular prism, because that's what this is a prism again, and the base is a rectangle, so we're just going to focus on the bottom. When you shade it in, it gets a little easier. Okay, so what's the distance from one base to the other? So you just want to pick one corner in that same position on the other corner. Oh, it's 10. There you go. So our height is 10. Okay, now just focus on the base. Now, what shape is the base? It's a rectangle. So I'm just going to draw that rectangle normal, and it's a 15 by 8. All right, so the base area is just base times height, which is 15 times 8. So 15 times 8, you put that in the calculator, you get 120. All right, and then the perimeter is just add up all the sides. Now, how many sides are there? There are 4 sides. So it's 15, 8, 15, and another 8. So 15 plus 8 plus 15 plus 8. And you get 46. And that's the hardest part, just figuring out the H, the B, and the P. And once you have that, everything goes so much faster. So this is a prism, so we're going to be using these equations right here. So volume is BH. So your B was 120, your H was 10. You put that in the calculator, and you get 1200. All right, go to the next part. Okay, your SA. Your SA is pH plus 2B. So pH plus 2B. All right, you put that in the calculator. Your pH, that's 46 times 10, plus 2B, which is 2 times 120. All right, so 46 times 10, 460, plus 2 times 120, get 240. And you pop out with 700. All right, and finally, LA. LA is P times H. That's it. So P was 46, and your H was 10. You get 460, which is what that beginning part was. Boom. Pretty fast, right? So once you get these, everything else is super simple. You just plug it into the equation. All right, so here we go. Number 3. Okay, so this is a trapezoidal prism. I'm just shading in the trapezoid. Okay, so what's the distance from one trapezoid to the other? Just pick a corner. I want this distance right here, which I don't have here. How about here? Do I have that? Nope. How about here? Nope. How about here? Ah, there we go. It's 12. And I circle it so I know I'm not going to touch that number again, or that particular 12 anyway. All right, so we have this this trapezoid. So let's draw the trapezoid, where the top is 10, the bottom is 20, the height is 8, not 12, it's 8. This side is 9, and this side, let's see, it's not here. Oh, it's here. It's 10. All right, so base area. Base area for the trapezoid is base 1 plus base 2 all over 2 times the height. And it's little height, not the capital height, which is height of the 3D shape. It's the little height. It's the height of this trapezoid. So that'd be 10 plus 20 all over 2 times 8. Well, what about that 9 and that particular 10? It doesn't do anything because it's not important on the base area. All right, so 10 plus 20, that's 30. Divide by 2, we get 15. So that's 15 times 8. So 15 times 8, our base area is 120. Okay, now what about the perimeter? Okay, you just add up all four sides. 9, 10, 10, and 20 and 10. Okay, so 9, 20, 10, 10. Or however you want to do that. Okay, there you go. Just go around in a circle, right? So 9 plus 20 plus 10 plus 10, and you pop out with 49. All right, so now that we have that hard part down, which is part 1, we can go to part 2, which is just finding the answers to whatever question they're talking about. In this case, I want all three things: volume, surface area, lateral area. So volume for a prism, if you look at your notes, volume is B times H. So that would be, and I'm just showing a lot of work here, so 120 times H, which is 12. So 120 times 12, and you pop out with 1440. Okay, then the surface area is pH plus 2V, because that's what it says right here, pH plus 2V. All right, so just put it in. Let's see, we have 49 times 12 plus 2 times 120. 49 times 12, we get 588 plus 2 times 120, just 240. Add those two together, and we pop out with 828. All right, and finally, lateral area. Lateral area is just P times H, which is what we found earlier. 49 times 12. We pop out with 588 because it's that first part right there. 588. Okay, which is basically the label of a soda can, like the label. But we'll talk more about that later. Right now, we just want to make sure you can bust this out. Awesome. Okay, number 4. Okay, so this is a cylinder. So the bases, so it's a prism again. The bases are the circles. So what's the distance from one circle to the other? 20. That's your height. So you just basically have to turn your paper, and now it makes sense. That's your height, 20. Okay, so draw your circle. Okay, we know that this is 8, right? So radius and diameter, every time you have a circle, you want the radius and the diameter. So in this case, 8 is our diameter, so our radius would have to be 4. All right, so base area is pi r squared because it's the area of a circle. And what's the area of a circle? Pi r squared. So in this case, it's pi 4 squared. So in our calculator, 3.14 times 4 squared. So I got the square right there. You put that in the calculator, and you get 50.24. And then the perimeter. Now, here's the thing. Perimeter of a circle is really the circumference. So d pi. So d pi, so that would be 8 pi. Put that in the calculator, 8 times 3.14. You pop out with 25.12. 25.12. Okay, so that's the first part. You want to make sure you get the H, the B, and the P, get that out of the way. Everything else falls into place. Volume. Volume of a prism is just capital B times capital H. So that would be 50.24 times your H, which is 20. 50.24 times 20, you pop out with 1004.8. 1004.8. And there's your answer. Okay, and then surface area. Surface area. Now, we could use this, or we could use this right here. You're still going to get the same answer both ways. So whichever floats your boat. So you can So you can either use these equations or these equations. You're going to get the same exact thing. So you do it, float your boat. Okay, surface area. Surface area is pH plus 2b. So P, your perimeter 25.12, your height was 20, plus 2b, 2 times 50.24. All right, so we put this in our calculator, 25.12 times 20. We get 502.4 plus 2 times 50.24, get 100.48. Okay, add those two together. You pop out with 602.88. 602.88. Okay, and then your lateral area. LA is just P times H, which is what we did earlier. 25.12 times 20. And we got 502.4. 502.4. See, it's just that beginning part right there. 25.12 times 20. Yes. Yep, and there's our answer. Awesome. All right. Okay, so All right, number 5. All right, so shade these in right here. So this is cylinder again. Your height would be 10. Okay, so your height is 10. Okay, if you draw the circle, our radius and diameter. Our radius is 6. Our diameter would be 12. Your capital B would be pi r squared. So that'd be pi 6 squared. So 3.14 times 6 squared. You pop out with 113.04. And your perimeter is d pi. So d pi, so that'd be 12 pi. So that's 12 times 3.14. You pop out with 37.68. 68. Okay, so now that we have that, all we have to do now is plug it into the correct equations. Volume is capital B times capital H. So 113.04 times 10, you pop out 1130.4. All right, your surface area is pH plus 2b. So P, which is 37.68, times H, which is 10, you get 376.8 plus 2 times B. 2 times B is 113.04. You get 226.08. Add those two together. You get 602.88. So that's your surface area, 602.88. And your lateral area was just that beginning part, which was 376.8, which was just pH, right? Hopefully you're getting the hang of this. It's just, once you get these things, you just plug it into the equation, pop out with what you get. All right. Now for pyramids, you can find lateral area and surface area, but right now all I want is the volume from you guys. So we want the height. So if this is the base right here, the height would be 42, and your base, well, if we draw the base, it's a 30 by 25. So the base area would just be, because it's just a rectangle, it would be base times height, right? So that's 30 times 25, and you get 750. Okay, so volume is 1/3, not 1/2, it's 1/3 base area times the 3D height. So it's 1/3, 750 times 42. So now, how do we stack that in the calculator? You have to do parentheses 1 divided by 3. Get that number first. Times 750 times 42. We get 10500. Now, what if you didn't have this kind of calculator? Okay, you do 1 divided by 3 equals, you get this big long decimal, times 750 times 42. Okay, if you just do 0.3, you're not going to get the right answer. If you do 0.333333333333333, then times these numbers, you have a better chance of getting the right answer. All right, but that's it, 10500. All right, flip the page. Okay, so now we got all the hard ones out of the way. Awesome. Okay, so now let's get to the easier ones, right? Okay, so now if this is the base, this be the height, right? So the height is 11, because all we basically had to do was turn our paper, and now it makes sense. So we have the height, and if they didn't have the height, if they gave you this number right here, instead you would have to just do the Pythagorean theorem before you start. So just be mindful of that. But in this case, we're still good. So the height is 11, your base area. Okay, so is the circle with a radius that is 5. So radius is 5, and the diameter is 10. All right, so the base area is pi r squared. So that is pi 5 squared. So 3.14 times 5 squared, and you get 78.5. So 78.5. All right, so volume is 1/3 base area times the height. That's 1/3 78.5 times the height, which is 11. So 1 divided by 3 in my calculator times 78.5 times 11. Okay, so we have 287.83 right? Now, they said at the beginning of this that we need to round if necessary. So round to near, it's not on my page, but it's on your page. You'll say round to nearest hundredth if necessary. So 100th, are we staying at 83 or going up to 84? Look at the number after it is a 3. That did not make it over the hill. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 287.83, or going up to the next number, 287.84. The number after it was a 3. I did not make it over the hill, so I'd roll back to where I started. So 287.83 is my answer. Awesome. Okay, so this next part. Okay, this is my base. So, I don't have my height. So before I start, I need to do a right triangle where this is 10, this is 6, and this is x, or in other words, my capital H. All right, so a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 6 squared plus x squared, or vice versa, is equal to 10 squared. 36 plus x squared is equal to 100. X squared is equal to 64. Square both sides, x equals 8. So this right here is really 8. Now, did you have to show this work? No, you could have done this all in the calculator and popped out with 8. I'm totally cool with that. All right, so we found out that our height is 8. So we had to do a little work first. All right, our base area is that circle, right? Where the radius is 6, so the diameter would have to be 12. So base area is pi r squared, because it's a circle, so that's pi 6 squared. So 3.14 times 6 squared, we pop out with 113.04. 113.04. So that's our base area. Okay, so now volume. Volume is equal to 1/3 base area times the height. So all you have to do is plug those numbers in. 1/3, 113.04 times the height, which was 8. And you pop out with 301.44. 301.44. All right, last couple. Ooh, this is going to be great. Okay, number 9. Just breezing on along. Okay, so number 9. Okay, so in this, the radius is from the center to any edge. So this is still the radius, even though it's pointing in a weird direction. So this is 5, so the diameter would have to be 10. All right, so volume, if you look at your page 1 here, so we already did pyramids and stuff, so we're going to be doing spheres. All right, so surface area is 4 pi r squared, and volume is 4 pi r cubed. So please notice the difference between this. Surface area is in 2 dimensions, volume is in 3 dimensions, power 2, power 3. All right, so volume is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So 4 divided by 3 pi 5 cubed. Now how do we type that into our calculator? Okay, so for some of you guys might want to do this backwards. So you probably want to do 5 to the power of 3 first and then multiply everything else. But me, I'm just going to go forward. So I'm going to do parentheses. I'll zoom out so you can see what I'm typing. So parentheses, 4 divided by 3, close parentheses, parentheses, 3.14, parentheses. And now, parentheses, 5, and see that caret? Power of 3. So I did the caret, and then push 3. So that's 5 to the power of 3. Close. There you go. And we need to round to nearest hundredth if necessary. So this would be 523.3, the 33, the 33, the 33, the 3, right? But when we write off our answer, we go 523.3. Okay, and that's our answer. Another way you could have done that was 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 5 times 5 times 5, because that's what 5 to the power of 3 is. You're multiplying it 3 times. And there's your answer. You still get the same thing. Okay, and now surface area. Surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. 4 pi r squared. So that's 4 pi 5 squared. All right, so we put that in the calculator. 4 times 3.14 times 5 squared. We pop out with, ooh, nice pretty number, 314. And there you go. All right, 3 more problems. Just breezing right along here. All right, on this one, 7 is all the way across. That's the diameter, so the radius would be 3.5. Just divide by 2, right? All right, so volume is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. 4 over 3 pi 3.5 cubed. So put that in the calculator. So 4 divided by 3, 3.14, 3.5 to the power of 3. We pop out with 179.503333333. So when we write down our answer, 179.50, or I could just put 179.5 because the 0 isn't doing anything at the end. So, but if you put the 0, it's still correct, but the 0.5 is the better answer. All right, surface area is 4 pi r squared. That's 4 pi 3.5 squared. 4 times 3.14 times 3.5 squared. 153.86, and that's as pretty as it gets.